this week on Shattered Glass, our topic this week is voting IDs. And so what we have here is a collection of different quotes from both Democrats and Republicans, and basically give you an idea of what that is the Republicans kind of have this viewpoint that this is kind of common sense, that this idea that people should be ID'd at the voting polls is a common sense kind of thing, and the Democrats are kind of seeing this as a suppression tool by the Republicans. You know what I'm saying? They kind of see this as a thing where the Republicans really want to stop the minorities in this country and the elderly in this country. They want to stop them from getting out the vote. And the way to do that is to ID them. See, if we ID them, then they won't show up. And so I'm here with Zach, and we're going to kind of discuss our opinions on this on the website djc.com. You can kind of read over the article where I kind of quote both sides and their opinions on this. And so basically, what do you think about this, Zach?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I really think that we should ID Americans, for them to vote. I mean, I don't get why we haven't been doing it. It's not something that I was aware of, to be honest with you. But a majority, I think, of the problem is that we have illegal immigrants voting and voting and voting and voting over again. And we were talking about this earlier, but, they're voting over and over again to get who they want in the election, and they're not United, they're not citizens of the United States, and that's
a great point. Mm-hmm. It's a great point, and I agree with you on this because, the Democrats kind of like to point the finger at the Republicans and say, that's a tool that you're using to suppress votes. But I actually think that it's the Democrats that are using this whole scheme as a tool, because what you have is a refusal from the left to do anything on the border to prevent these people from coming in. And now, not only do they want to have an open border where they can come, but they actually want to give them an avenue that once they get in here, now they can possibly get into a poll, and they can have an influence on our elections.
Exactly. And they shouldn't be able to have that influence, to be honest with you. But I don't think either side of the party should be pointing fingers at each other, to be honest with you. I mean, the Democrats are just as much to blame as the Republicans are for this, okay? And I don't know why we have not had this law in place, but to be honest with you, they should not be pointing the fingers at each other, you know what I mean? And this is not the issue of, whose fault is this and who's trying to point the blame on it. I don't think it's a party's fault at all. To be honest with you, I think I don't think you could really blame anybody for this.
I can see your point there, but the thing is for me, is that, if you're going to point fingers, as a lot of left blogs are pointing fingers at Republicans or conservatives, and they're saying you're using this as a tool.
Yeah, but they're both using it as a tool at that point. Okay, yeah. And they're not physically telling these people, hey. You know what I mean? They're not physically going, hey, go and vote over and again and over and over and over again, or vote, you're an illegal immigrant. Vote for me because I'll do this for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know who I would point the finger at for this
I just want a system that doesn't jeopardize our democracy.
Exactly.
And I don't have a problem at all with showing an ID to vote. I don't think that anybody that's honest. Let's have honest elections in America. I mean, we have a lot of things going wrong in America, but why fight honesty?
Yeah.
And that seems to be, in my opinion,
and the point is not the aim fingers. That's not the point of the subject. I feel like we're getting distracted by it. The point of the subject is not to point fingers at. It's the point of subject at hand that this is going on and this needs to be stopped. You know, and this should not. I feel like you should have to show your ID. Heck yeah. If you're an American citizen and you want to vote, you should have to show that you're, a citizen of the United States of America.
Sure. I think I think we agree on this, and I kind of want to move on to last week's shattered glass topic.
Yeah.
Because I never did post exactly how I feel about this, and that topic is actually ISIS, and the question of, are we at war again?
Yeah.
Is going into ISIS or going in to fight ISIS, is that the Iraqi operation all over again? And basically what our rundown here says, I believe that the Democrats' point of view isn't really one that is necessarily supportive of the president's actions, which is kind of out of character for them. Basically, what I found was that it's kind of a situation where they believe that this is a situation that has started all over again what we've already done. And the Republicans' kind of point of view is that our action against these terrorists are it's basically a reaction to a reaction. You talk about the NFL and Roger Goodell and how horrible of a leader he is because it's a reaction to a reaction. Well, this is a situation Republicans are claiming where Barack Obama is reacting to the public's reaction to these beheadings, and is then going and fighting another military war because of it.
I think, I don't know too much about ISIS, to be honest with you. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now. But anyways, from what I know about it, they're American journalists that are over across seas, and they're doing their reporting and they're doing their jobs, right? I feel like Barack Obama I feel like he should try to get into every fight there is, okay, that's going on across seas. And I don't think he should be doing that. I think he should be focusing on the terms at hand, that what's going on in the United States of America, not what's going on in other countries, right? I mean, we've got enough problems as it is here, I mean, just general problems that have been going on for how many decades that we can help and try to make. Like homelessness. Look at that, dude. Like, look how many people are homeless in this country. It's disgusting. But that's not the only thing. There's a lot of things. We've got immigrants coming into our country, which is a big issue, like we were talking about with the voting.
Yeah.
And all that. We got a lot of stuff going on. There's so much I can't name off the top of my head, but I feel that he should not be getting involved in that and be getting involved in the stuff that we're in. You know what I mean? Unless they personally do something to us to provoke us.
So you would say your opinion kind of is with the Democrats on this one.
Yeah.
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 And I agree with you on that.
I'm more of an independent myself.
I'm an independent
we're
myself
on the same
too.
track there. I don't care what.
On this specific issue, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with the Democrats on this. I feel like there's been over 10 years of fighting in the Middle East.
Yeah. We don't need any more of it, man. We need to work on
we
our
have
own
had
problems.
a lot of American blood spilt in the desert, and this is a situation where I really think that if we're going to go in and fight these guys, that there needs to be caution, and it needs to be a last resort.
Yeah. And I feel that the only thing we should do in this fight is we should just really save the journalists, to be honest with you. The journalists go in and save their asses, all right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's about it. But I mean, we should be fighting. I understand why, and this kind of comes in the 9/11, too. But I understand why we went to fight with Iraq, okay? I completely understand that, why we went overseas. Look what they did. They ran 2 planes in the Twin Towers, you know what I mean? Killed how many people? I understand that completely why we went and fought them. But beyond that, nobody else has really provoked us, you know what I mean? ISIS a little bit has, but I mean, they haven't, you know what I mean? They took some journalists.
They haven't touched our soil yet.
Yeah, and they really haven't, they took a couple of journalists, which is still not good, but I mean, I feel like we should save them, but that's about it, you know what I mean? I
guess my thing is that, I guess what bothers me about it is kind of the Republicans' point of view, that this is a reaction to a reaction, and that Barack Obama has waited too long, and we should have been in there sooner.
We should have been in there at all, to be honest.
I don't agree with that. I think that there is a place for us to go in and fight these guys because they are a threat. But I think that that place has to be a last resort.
Yeah.
And I think that the president really is kind of seeing it that way too. He realizes now that we have to go and we have to fight these guys because it's a growing problem. It's not going away.
Yeah.
But he is really trying to do that through diplomatic ways by
Yeah.
getting other people involved.
Well, diplomatic ways isn't doing anything anymore, man. That's not our place to fight anyways, but I agree that we need to take them out at one point because they're eventually gonna, you know what I mean? But I feel like we should truly handle that when we have threats made toward us and the president knows about it. Because I remember, if you've watched, you know, it was like, I don't know, but I remember a while ago, I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was a movie called about 9/11, and the guy went back and revealed every secret about it. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
And he mentioned in the movie that President Bush, a couple days before 9/11, had known that there was a threat against the United States from Iraq.
Yeah.
And he did not do anything about that. I think that if this
Would've
happens
been,
with ISIS,
Al Qaeda, yeah.
yeah, if this happens with ISIS, I think that the president should truly, you know, step in and actually do something about it then. You know,
Yep.
you should really step in and do something at that point when you're being threatened and you know about it, nobody else does. At that point, like, you know, the circumstances George W. Bush is put in, like, they didn't do anything, you know, just until something happened.
Sure.
I feel like you should do something before, you know what I mean? You know, not spook the public out, but, you know, let's actually do something and let's kind of keep it low, you know? Because once you start spooking the public out, the media gets out and people start flipping out, you know? And
Yeah. Yeah, I see your point there, buddy. So I think we better wrap this up. That's it for Appalachia Radio and DJC.com. Check us out next week on Shattered Glass or Wacky News.